First of all, you hit on my favorite band ever. The New York Dolls, to me, were the best live band I ever saw. And I know this sounds crazy because they were sloppy, they dressed in semi drag. Most of them were drug addicts, several of them died. They never had any commercial success. But I get chills when I think about this because when they performed at the Mercer Arts Center, they just did everything right. I mean, David Johansen was so witty, so clever. He still is. I did an event last week at the John Varvatos store, the site of the old CBGBs, and David came, and he's still hilarious. And they were considered a poor man's Rolling Stones because they never got famous. But they were great and sloppy and everything rock and roll was supposed to be. And they performed like right here with the audience right there. There wasn't even a stage. I mean, that's the other thing that people, it's so hard to explain. I sound like I'm talking about the Middle Ages. But when Led Zeppelin performed at Madison Square Garden, John Bonham, the drummer, didn't even have a riser. He was right just on the stage. He wasn't up on one of those humongous spaceships that, they're all on now. So, yes, I did hang out a lot with the Dolls. The Dolls, I have a scene in my book when the Dolls came to my house. My father, who was a judge and a serious man who reread Proust every summer, lived across the hall from me at the time. I actually didn't want to move there, but my husband said, "Are you kidding? It's a rent-controlled apartment for $150. We're taking it." I said, "But my parents live across the hall. I grew up there." He said, "So what? They're cool. They're not going to bother us." At any rate, I got a phone call that night after the Dolls came to my house to do an interview. I mean, they showed up in platform heels and green feather boas and gold sparkles and full makeup and total drag. And my father called me up and he said, "Your friends came to visit you today." I mean, it was just assumed that they could be not visiting anybody else in the building. Elliot Murphy I knew, of course, because he was around a lot before he moved to Paris. And he was really a good singer-songwriter and a friend. Yeah, I knew them all.